Well, in the process of rebuilding this Smith Manufacturing manure spreader, last week I got the axle cap on top of the round axle itself put on, and then the fifth wheel assembled on top of the axle. Well, on top of the fifth wheel, there's a couple of bars that the two bolsters sit on that actually carry the framework of this manure spreader. The more time I spend looking at this whole assembly, I'm convinced that this front bolster is original. It still has some signs of the red paint on the inside that would have been protected from the weather and from the sun. This second bolster, I think, has been replaced, and there's a couple reasons why I think that. The castings on the ends that actually hold the main frame that go to the back axle are designed to fit this style of a bolster here. This one has been notched down to accommodate that casting, so I don't think it was original. And on these two main bars that sit on the fifth wheel, you can see that they were very crudely notched out to accommodate the nuts that bolted these to the bars. So I think this was an afterthought. And then when I measure the actual height of this front bolster, we're down at 4 3/4. And when I first disassembled this, I noticed how crudely these were notched out, how sloppy these fit to these main bars. But then I measured actually from the top of the bolster to the bar, which is at 4 3/4. So I think that 5 1/4 was too thick, and they notched it to keep the height correct. Then on the back edge of this bolster, the main part of the body is going back. Well, we have some rollers that fit onto here. Well, these two are original, and they fit really well on the leading edge of this bolster, this side as well. But for some reason, this center one was notched out. Well, this center one was actually replaced. This is a homemade housing for this roller wheel that sits here. And because of how this was made, this was this much longer, and so they had to notch this out to bring this back to where it would be in line with the rollers on each side. So when this one sits on the leading edge here, these rollers that sit on here would be in line. So another thing why I think this was replaced somehow in a damage or whatever happened, they broke this one, had to replace it. Didn't get this correct in the distance, so they notched it in to make it work to match these two original ones. Well, those of you who are familiar with your hardwoods have noticed that when I rebuilt the front axle, I used white ash. I keep a lot of white ash here in 8/4, 12/4, and 16/4. I did look at the local market here, and I needed 8/4. I was going to go white oak because of the advertisements. It just specifies oak. It doesn't specify whether it's red or white. I would prefer to go white. Red doesn't stand up that well. But nobody had 8/4 in 12-foot lengths, which I need for these sideboards. And then for these bolsters and the crossbars between these two side frames, I need 12/4, and nobody had that. So the closest place is going to Salt Lake City, which for me is 1,200 miles round trip. I stock the white ash, so that's what I'm going to use. So I'm going to make these two bolsters the same. They're going to match the castings that are designed for each end, and put this back to where I think it was built originally, again, trying to discern what had happened somewhere in its life to where this second bolster was replaced and adapted to work, but I don't think it was original. Well, our local school here in this Joliet area is a Class B school, K through 12. And a number of years ago, we had an English teacher that was pretty advanced in her thinking and was interested in preparing her English students for college and the real world. So she started a program, called it a senior project, and she required her senior students to go out into the community of anything in the area that caught their interest that would be something possibly that they would like to do as a career. And they spend, 16, 18, 20 hours, whatever that number was, out with a business. Well, I have had 3, 4, 5 of those come here in the shop over the years and spend their time here. Well, I have one that approached me here about a month ago and asked if he could do his senior project here in the shop. He is a young man who is interested in horses and interested in farming. He does some blacksmithing, and what I do here has caught his interest. So he's going to come when he can and fit it into his schedule and work on some of these projects alongside of me, whether it is a manure spreader or the sheep wagon or whatever I'm doing at the time. So this young man that is going to be showing up off and on is fulfilling his senior project obligations here in the shop. And this young man's name is Bryce.
Back and forth. You go in this direction, you got the leverage against the wood. This way you can twist the wood, this way you can twist. You get this as tight as you can, that's the one. You twist it correctly.
as you have watched me over the years, there's a few things that I do that challenge you, even as those who watch my channel, saying, boy, this is way too boring for me. I don't even think I can watch you do it. One of those things is sandblasting. And for Bryce, sandblasting is a very challenging thing because it's concentrated, it's boring, and you have to deal with the thoughts in your head as you're sitting doing this repetitive thing. It's one of the things that goes with the real world. So anyway, he helped me get this apron all apart. We've got to get these chains finished up. I kind of told him, you do one side, I'll do the other side. As you all know, I spend hours and hours and hours sandblasting. It's just part of the deal. Well, I got the front bolsters on. I'm going to block up the rear axle. I've got some 8/4 in a 10.5 foot lengths that I'm going to get planed and start to put some of the side frame together. Well, I was doing some quick double checking on my old sideboards, and I guess I must have had a senior moment. I was thinking I needed 10.5 feet long. Actually, I need 9.5 feet long. Well, this will be the main side frames. You know, I still have to put blind mortises in and put in crossbars. A lot to do from here. All the rollers go down the side, and I'll have to double check my spacings that I have my front to rear axle distance correct. We're going the right direction. Appreciate you following along. Thanks for watching.